Hello there. Well, it's certainly been a mild start to the meteorological winter. We've seen a lot of cloud around and there have been some outbreaks of rain too, but you can see that frontal system continues to push its way eastwards, and for most of the rest of the afternoon it's dry with some bright or sunny spells and feeling pretty warm for the time of year. Highs there of 12 or 13 degrees. Now as we move on through this evening and tonight, there will be a few showers around but also some clear spells out there, and those clear spells mean it will be a rather bright, nice start to the day tomorrow morning. But again, we're going to see that clouds thickening up with some outbreaks of rain arriving in places. And then eventually we'll start to draw in a northerly airflow. So that means it's going to be feeling a little colder for many. Highs there this time between 7 and 9 degrees. Hello again. Well, it's certainly been a mild start to the meteorological winter, turning colder though as we go through the next few days. Still a few showers around at times as we go through Monday, but then largely dry on Tuesday. But as I say, cold, and it will be frosty for many of us. So let's take a look at the bigger picture. We can see we have got some frontal systems working their way across the UK. This one here is sinking its way southwards as we go through tomorrow, bringing some cloud and some outbreaks of rain. And then behind that, you can see the winds will start to come down from a more northerly direction. That's what's going to make it feel pretty chilly. Although the good news is with high pressure close by, for most of us, it will be largely dry, certainly in the short term. Now for the rest of tonight, well, it is quite a mixture out there. So we've still got a few showers knocking around, but also some clear skies. Not too cold for many of us. Generally those temperatures not falling below 7 degrees. So for tomorrow morning, there will be some sunshine around to begin with and a scattering of showers. And then as we continue on through the day, that cloud will start to thicken up and we'll see some patchy rain arriving as we go through the afternoon too. And you can see those northerly winds following in behind, so not quite as mild as what it has been out there today. We're looking at highs there between 7 and 9 degrees. And eventually we lose that rain. You can see on Tuesday we've got this high pressure dominating, so for most of us, a good part of the day at least, will be staying largely dry, but it will be a cold and frosty morning. So overall, as we go through next week, it's a changeable setup out there. Some patchy rain on Monday, mostly dry on Tuesday, but it will be cold by day with some frost and some fog in places, milder from Thursday. Bye-bye. Hello and a very good evening to you. So quite a changeable setup as we go through the next few days or so. There will still be a few showers around at times, quite a range in temperatures too. In fact, on Tuesday, it certainly will be feeling cold across the region with some frost and some fog in places. So Monday's looking fairly unsettled. Then Tuesday, mostly dry, but with those northerly winds, it will be feeling a little chilly in places. And then on Wednesday, we've got another front crossing our way. And behind that, we start to draw in these southwesterly winds. So once again, our temperatures will be on the rise. Now for the rest of tonight, well, it is a mixture as we move through the small hours, showers and clear spells. Most of us tonight will be frost-free. You can see temperatures ranging anywhere between 5 and 8 degrees. So tomorrow morning, a bright start across the east, but there will be a few showers knocking around. And then that cloud will start to increase as we go through the afternoon, bringing little bits and pieces of rain as we go through the day too. And you can see we start to draw in those northerly winds, and that's what's going to make it feel colder than today. We're expecting highs there between 7 and 9 degrees. So as I mentioned earlier, we're going to see a few showers on Monday, then Tuesday a cold, frosty, potentially foggy start to the day, milder towards the end of the week. Hello there. Well, after a bright start to the day for many of us, that cloud will be increasing and we're going to see some light and patchy rain crossing the region. Then behind that, it will become drier, but we start to pull in those northerly winds, so it will be feeling a bit colder than it has been of late. We're looking at highs today up to around 9 degrees. Bye-bye. Hello there. So quite a changeable setup as we go through the next few days. Temperatures will be up and down as we move through this week. A few showers around at times, especially on Monday. But Tuesday, actually, for most of us, a good deal of dry weather, but it will be rather cold and frosty for many. So this is the bigger picture. You can see to start the new working week, various frontal systems crossing the UK, bringing some showers at times. But then you can see we start to pull in this northerly airflow, and that's what's going to make it feel rather chilly for many. So coming back to the rest of this evening and tonight, we can see quite a messy scene out there. More of those showers pushing their way eastwards. These could be heavy in places, quite blustery too around some coastal parts. And that's of our temperatures tonight between 6 and 8 degrees. So a mixed start to the day on Monday morning. Sunny spells and showers again, could be the odd pokey shower in places, and still quite a breeze. And you'll notice those winds coming down from a northerly direction. That's what's going to make it feel colder than today. Expecting highs this time anywhere between 7 and 9 degrees. And as I mentioned earlier, changeable setup as we go through this week. Showers at times, times briefly colder on Tuesday, temperature on the rise from Thursday. Bye-bye. Hello again. Well, it's certainly been a mild start to the meteorological winter. It's turning a bit colder though as we go through the next few days, and overall it's a fairly mixed setup. So a few showers around on Monday, largely dry on Tuesday, albeit it will be cold and frosty for many of us. So let's take a look at the bigger picture. We can see as we start the new working week, we've got various frontal systems working their way towards us. One moving eastwards, and then this one here sinking its way southwards, bringing some cloud and some patchy rain. You can see behind that we start to draw in those northerly winds, and that's what's going to make it feel cold for the time of year. Now, in the meantime, for the rest of tonight, well, it certainly is a mixed picture out there. We've got some clear skies, but also a few showers, and some of these showers could be on the heavy side. That's of our temperatures there between 5 and 7 degrees. So sunny spells and showers to start things off on Monday morning. Could be the odd pokey one in places. And then we'll see some thicker clouds sinking its way southwards as we go through the day, bringing little bits and pieces of patchy rain. But for most of us, actually, we'll see some brighter spells towards the end of the day. But with those northerly winds, it will be feeling colder than today. Highs there between 7 and 9 degrees. And then looking ahead towards Tuesday and into Wednesday, we have got this next system waiting in the wings. That's eventually going to push its way eastwards, but for most of us, under the influence of that high pressure on Tuesday, much of daylight hours will be largely dry for us, but it will be cold out there, frosty and foggy to begin with. And you can see all in all, it's quite a changeable setup as we go through the next few days, but turning milder once again by the time we get to Thursday. That's all from me. I'll see you a bit later on. Bye-bye for now. Hello there. Well, it's certainly been a mild start to the meteorological winter, but as we go through the next few days, we are expecting it to turn a little bit colder across the region. So there will be some patchy rain around at times, especially as we go through Monday, but then drier on Tuesday, but it will be cold and frosty for many. So let's take a look at that in a bit more detail. We can see here we have got one front working its way eastwards and another one pushing its way southwards, which will bring some cloud and some outbreaks of rain as we go through tomorrow. But then you can see behind that, we start to draw in a northerly airflow. That's what's going to make it feel colder, but you can see high pressure will be building, and that's what will be keeping us largely dry. Now, in the meantime, for the rest of tonight, well, there will be one or two showers knocking around, although for many of us it will be dry tonight with some clear skies, not too cold out there. We're looking at lows between 6 and 8 degrees. So a nice bright start to Monday morning for many of us, some sunshine around to begin with. But you can see the day continues. That cloud will start to thicken up, and we're going to see bits and pieces of rain arriving as we go through the day too. And you can see the winds will start to pick up, coming in from a more northerly direction, and that's what's going to make it feel a little bit cooler out there too. We're expecting highs tomorrow up to around 8 or 9 degrees. And then on Tuesday, we can see we've got that high pressure dominating, keeping most of us fine and dry, certainly in the short term, but it does mean it will be a cold and a frosty start to the day too. So all in all, then quite a changeable setup as we go through the next few days. Patchy rain on Monday, largely dry on Tuesday, but it will be cold and it will be frosty. And you can see our temperatures will be climbing back up from Thursday onwards. See you a bit later on. Bye-bye. Hello again. Hope you've all had a lovely Sunday so far. So quite a changeable setup as we go through the next few days or so. There is going to be some patchy rain around at times, low on Tuesday. It's looking largely dry here, albeit cold and frosty, before things turn a little bit more unsettled again later on in the week. So this is what's happening in the short term, where you can see we've got two fronts coming our way as we go through Monday, one working its way eastwards and another sinking its way southwards. Now this one here is going to introduce some colder air. You can see those northerly winds will follow in behind. That's what's going to make it feel pretty chilly. On the plus side, high pressure will be dominating for Tuesday. Now, in the meantime, for the rest of tonight, well, there will be one or two showers knocking around, but for most of us, it will be dry with those clear skies. And that means for tomorrow morning, quite a nice, bright start to the day first thing. Some lovely spells of sunshine to begin with. But you can see as the day continues, that cloud will start to increase, and we're going to see some patchy rain working its way towards us. And eventually we'll see a change in wind direction too, coming down from the north, which means it won't be quite as mild as today. We're looking at highs there up to around 9 or 10 degrees. Then you can see as we go into Tuesday, we've got a ridge of high pressure dominating, so it's going to be blocking the system, working our way certainly throughout Tuesday. We could see some rain as we move into Wednesday, but overall it will be dry for many on Tuesday. But look at that, it's certainly going to be cold out there. By day, we're looking at highs of 5 degrees and some cold nights too, which means some frost and potentially some fog too. But then by the time we get to Wednesday and into Thursday, going to see a little bit of rain in places, and you can see that those temperatures will be back on the rise. I'll see you a bit later on. Bye-bye.